Hey guys, this is how I made more than 1,700 in 1 week doing student jobs in Australia. Stick around till the end because I'm going to share you all the tips and secrets to land on your first student job and even make more than 1,700 in 1 week. There's a common misunderstanding that finding a student jobs is one of the hardest things to do in Australia or in any other country. Well, it's not the easiest, but with the right knowledge, it's not the hardest as well. So get a pen and paper and let's get right into it. One of the first mistakes I did when I was doing my job hunt was making my CV before doing anything else. I struggled for 8 months making various types of CVs and applying to hundreds of jobs only to be responded with a rejection. Well, it is a good idea to have a template in your mind and also some basic information in place. But to make the perfect CV, you need to have perfect knowledge of the job that you want. So here's step 1. Download Indeed, Seek, and Jora. These 3 popular apps are the best place for you to have a good understanding of the job that you want. Hop on this and then type a few keywords. You can type food services assistant and select Victoria, and part-time or casual, and you can see the description posted by the employers. We will discuss the importance of having a part-time job, a casual job, and an ABN job to make the most out of your 24-hour work window per week. But for now, do a comprehensive research of all 3 sectors. This research helps to get a good understanding of qualifications, certificates, and skills you need for certain jobs, and also this is a great way to find keywords to build your CV. You see, most of these companies receive hundreds and thousands of applications every day. So they have specific computer-based AI softwares to read your CVs and sort out the best out of the best and shortlist them to a smaller list. These softwares select your CV based on the keywords you have used and the content you have in your CV. So it might be a good idea to copy-paste a few keywords and a little bit of job description from Seek, Indeed, and Jora into your CV. This way, you have exactly what they are looking for. Step 2, get them skills. Now that you have done your research, you have a good understanding of the skills, the certificates, and the qualifications these companies are looking for. Now it's your time to upskill yourself. If you're from Victoria or Australia or looking forward to move to any of these places, it's a good idea to maybe search up working with children check, NDIS check, forklift certificates, and barista qualifications. These are some very common part-time jobs that you can make big bucks out of. If you click the Instagram link in the video description, you can access my Instagram page where I'll give you sneak peeks of the life in Melbourne, part-time jobs, and also you can make an appointment to have a small discussion with me about your CV, about your job hunt, and any content that I post there. I have mentioned how to make an appointment in the video description as well. Step 3, hunt for a casual job. Now, if you're new to the job hunt, you need to know there are 3 types of jobs: casual jobs, part-time jobs, ABN jobs. As a student, we get 24 hours a week to work. And that's all you get. You cannot exceed that. Otherwise, you will have to pay fine. Your employer will have to pay fine. And also, your student visa might get cancelled. What is a casual job? A casual job pays you a lot of money, but for a very small window. They might pay you $32 per hour, $40 per hour, $50 or even $60 per hour. But you might get maybe 2 hours a week, 3 hours, 4 hours, maximum 6 hours a week. What is a part-time job? A part-time job pays you the standard rate of maybe $25 an hour, but the good thing about part-time job is they give you a longer time to work. A part-time job can maybe even give you all 24 hours of your week. Both casual jobs and part-time jobs mostly are tax jobs. That means you need to have a taxpayer ID and you will be paying tax for the Australian government for doing all of these jobs. An ABN is used by entrepreneurs, Uber drivers, Uber delivery drivers, and any person who have their own business. I have a passion for videography and photography, so I have an ABN number and I provide my own business making social media content to various companies. Hence, that is my ABN job. Out of my 24 hours, I work 4 to 6 hours of casual job, 2 to 4 hours of ABN job, and the rest is my part-time. This allows me to make maximum income out of the small 24-hour window. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to do all three, because trust me, it can be very exhausting, but it's a little trick if you like challenges and you're very good at time management. Step 4, networking and connecting. You see, my first job I got through a connection. One of my friends were working on a customer care role, and I asked them, would you mind referring me to your employer as well? And that's how I got my first job. How I got my ABN jobs, I first tried out Uber Eats, Uber Delivery, and then I tried out walking into cafes, companies, and different organizations and asking them, would you like me to do your social media? And I showed them my social media profiles. And I found people who were interested in the service I was providing, and that's exactly how I got my ABN job. My part-time job was a very tricky thing. That is maybe the most exhausting job search I have ever done. When you're applying for a part-time job, don't be restricted. Try applying for a little bit of far-off places as well, maybe a little bit suburban areas, because even though Australia is a big country, the population is way less and lack a lot of workforce. Especially retail giants like Coles and Woolworths would be very happy to employ us international students to do their chores. And for your job hunt, here are some tips and tricks that I learned by making a lot of mistakes. You see, a lot of companies in Australia do not accept manual CVs. They always want you to apply to their companies through a website. It might be Indeed, Seek, or maybe their own websites. But how do you keep it in track? After you apply, feel free to send an email, or you can call their receptionist. But if you are walking in, never ever give your CV to a random employee. Always walk in and ask for their manager. But you know, most of the time, the manager is not in the store. Don't be disheartened, that's how it is. Gather your courage and walk to the next door. It's also a good idea to follow Facebook pages such as Australian part-time jobs, Victorian part-time jobs, or be old school like me and hop on Google Maps, search up restaurants in my area and just walk in. Another tip for you that might be really helpful is to find your similar culture, because Australia is very diverse. If there's a restaurant that sells Sri Lankan food, if there's a restaurant that sells Thai food, they would prefer employing somebody who have a good knowledge of that food. That way, you will have a certain control over what you apply and will be able to get the best result. Now, how do you get paid in Australia? Australia, everybody pays you every fortnight. A fortnight is a span of 2 weeks or 14 days. Every 14 days, your salary for those 14 days will be deposited into your account. If you're trying to apply for aged care facilities, be mindful. They will ask you to be vaccinated, and if you're not comfortable, that's something to keep in mind. There are lots of places who will be very happy to employ students with no prior experience. But where do you find these kind of people? Most of the time, they could be at facilities or companies who focus on students. It could be your university job board. It could be a tutoring company. It could be your student accommodation company. So do expand your search, step forward, and keep an eye on these companies. How is the work culture in Australia? Well, to be very honest, it's pretty chill. As long as you have a good character and you know how to be respectful, the work culture is really great. And here's the answer for how I made 1,700 in 1 week in Australia. These screenshots show the evidence of how I got paid during my vacation period. You see, in Australia, even though you have a 24-hour work restriction, when you are studying, during holidays, you have unlimited work rights. Meaning, you can work as much as you want, as long as you don't work more than 12 hours per day. So I doubled around my 3 jobs and I made more than 1,700 a week. And if you're a student who's struggling, feel free to reach out to me. We can have a nice chat, or go to my Instagram and feel free to follow me. Send me a DM, ask your questions in this video description, or send me DMs in my Instagram. Do keep in touch, and I hope you guys like my first ever YouTube video. Do subscribe and give me a small thumbs up, because I will come back with answers for your questions. Hustle hard, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.